Good evening. Welcome to WSBI, your Resource for Success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. My name is Kimberly McLemore, and I am your host. With us, we have Natalie Montez, your owner of Divino by Montez. Welcome, Natalie.
Good evening, Kimberly. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Well, it's great for you to take the opportunity out of your busy day to talk to our listeners this evening. Shall we get started?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. So just tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Natalie Montez, and I am the owner of Divino by Montez, which is an in-home wine tasting business where I come to the home and actually facilitate a wine tasting as opposed to everyone having to go out to a winery or the wine store and, them not understanding exactly what to buy. So I come to you and do a nice wine tasting at your party that you're having and hosting guests anyways, and it's a good time.
All right. Awesome. So do me a favor. Tell me a little bit about what inspired you to get into this.
Oh, first off, my love for wine. But to go even further than that, I went to Spain one year when I was just a young airman in the Air Force many years ago, and I just started drinking wine there, and it was so fabulous. I actually started with white wine, and everyone who knows me knows that I am a red wine drinker. So white wine was my love in Spain, and after that, I spent many years learning about wine and trying to figure out a way that I could make this into a business or a way that I could share my love for wine and the things that I experience when I drink wine. So that's my inspiration.
All right. That's awesome to think that you had the opportunity to travel to Spain and to learn that. So was there anybody in particular who might have inspired you directly from Spain, or is it just the actual experience itself?
It was the experience, but also my mom drank a lot of wine too when we were growing up. So I did see wine, but I hadn't really experienced it. And I know I had tasted some wine previously in Los Angeles, and it wasn't really, I didn't really gain the taste for it until I actually went to Spain. I guess the appreciation. So that after I came back from Spain is when I really delved into the education, exploring, and found the love there.
Okay, and listeners, I will agree. I've known Natalie for a few years now, and from the time that I've met her, I've never met a woman so into understanding and having the knowledge of what it means to have the taste and the smell of a wine tasting. Most of us we just like the taste of it, but not really truly understanding what at all details. So I do know that she's very knowledgeable on this. So let me just ask you this: you decided to make a business. What made you just determine that this is the direction you wanted to go? How did you get really into the field beyond just, hey, I've tasted it and I've had these experiences? So, talk to your listeners and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it started with the fact that I was actually helping a lot of people decide what kinds of wines to get when they wanted to give a gift for people or even just have at their own parties. And also being able to talk to people and people who are educated in wine, like sommeliers and various people like that. It just captivated me. And I found that I was very good at describing what I taste in wine and helping people understand where wines come from, how they're grown, and how it contributes to the aging, the process, as well as what they taste when they're pouring it in their own glasses at home. So I decided, you see all these in-home businesses like, Tupperware, they come to your home, Mary Kay, makeup, different things like that, clothes. They come to your home and they facilitate these parties for you and educate you on those products. So why not do that with wine? And it was a concept that, hadn't been done independently. There are wine tasting businesses out there that you can call or look up online, and they will come to your house and facilitate a wine tasting. But I wanted to go and take that a few steps deeper, and I wanted it to be a little bit more intimate, a little bit more personal. I wanted the host or hostess to have a personalized tasting. So I will talk to them about their price range, about what kinds of wines that they and their friends like, also about their own preference and the theme that they're having their party, and I will create an experience. So I'm really selling an experience. I'm not selling wine because anyone can go to the store and pick up a bottle of wine, but I'm expanding their knowledge on. Some people are just very they tend to stick to the same things. So if you learn where this grape has been grown and where this wine comes from, you'll be able to venture out and try some other things without being, overwhelmed. So that's really my inspiration about coming into the home, and I can bring local wines from local wineries into the home and also bring them business as well by featuring their wines. So I'm hoping to make that an entire business perspective in the future. But right now, I just want to share this experience with others and see where it goes.
Awesome. So how many years have you been in business?
So officially 1 year. I've been creating this business behind the scenes and in my mind for the last few years. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. I mean, if you wake up breathing and thinking and going to sleep, and then you usually know that this is the business that you should be in. So being that you've only been in business for a year, could you share with us some of your challenges that you've had?
Well, the challenges is that, nobody's throwing wine parties every night of the week. So trying to figure out how to make this a viable business operation, as well as sticking with the authentic theme of what I want to give, and not make this a corporate process or anything like that. I want it to be intimate. I want it to be personal. So figuring out how to actually make it a money-making business is something that is challenging, and also having that business plan built so that I can take my portfolio to wineries and wine companies and find distributors, so that I can actually sell the wines that my customers are tasting.
Okay.
So those are the challenges I'm facing right now. But I hope that as I move forward, and I've seen a lot of interest in this. This is a very unique business plan. So I feel like I'll get there, but that is the challenge, is just figuring out how I can make this a consistent, viable operation that will make it worth me continuing to do this as I transition into retirement from the Air Force.
Okay,
and
that's right.
It's not so that it's not just a part-time business.
Right.
So working on that.
Yeah, as most people don't know, Natalie, like she said, is working full time, and a lot of us who run our own businesses are usually in that same scenario.
Right.
So to take and find the time to do your love, your passion, it can be hard, and overwhelming, and especially when you feel like you're in something it's not a new concept, but a concept in a way, like you said, that you are trying to engage people in a different format when we're talking about tasting wine.
That's right.
So it is going to take a little bit of time to pick up, but as we always say, it's progress, not perfection.
Right. That's right.
So tell me a little of your successes then that you've experienced.
The biggest success is how much overwhelming optimism I have seen when sharing my business model. People of all professions and levels of professionalism feel like this is like a great idea, and I've gotten offers for financial support. I've gotten all kinds of offers for partnership in this. So I have all of this, I feel like, fuel but it's like you have to be there first. You have to be ready for that first. I don't want to, contact someone and say, okay, I'm ready for you to lend me X amount of dollars to move forward, when I don't necessarily have the rest of the pieces in place. So that goes along with part of my challenge, is that, I need to figure out what the best niche is to pull these pieces together at the same time with kids and the full-time work. I retire next year, so I'm looking forward to just like sort of continuing to plan that, and then taking off maybe next year when I am fully free from working full-time.
Okay. All right. And you're right. I mean, I think that it's not so much, I think, it's a challenge. It's just, like you said, really kind of understanding and how to engage, how to make the business work, understanding your niche. And that's always a concern in anybody who's in business.
Right.
A big part of being in business is it's evolving.
Yes.
It's not just this one little thing. And I've even found myself being in my business that, and literally in the last 5 months, I've changed it probably 2 or 3 times, just because I'm realizing who my niche is, what people are really looking for, and who can I satisfy the most. So being that you're still new in business, and I also want people to understand that, Natalie and I actually have a great teaming agreement, and I do a mentorship piece with our business, and it's been an awesome opportunity for me to help mentor Natalie with her business. and then vice versa, she's helping me with my business. A big part that people don't realize is that it doesn't matter how many years you've been in business, having that opportunity to mentor somebody and teaching them the ropes, and then at the same token, you're learning along the way.
And knowing that you're not alone and having that, accountability partner, it's huge.
Exactly. So if another woman wanted to get into this type of business, what resources would you provide to them, or what would you tell them that you think would be important for them to understand this type of business?
Well, first, you have to have passion for what you're doing. I've always told people, if you don't have it in your heart, you're not going to push yourself, motivate yourself. It's not going to be what consumes you, and it's going to be very hard to force yourself to do something that your heart is not really into. And aside from that, I would say research. I would say have a business plan. That's one of the things that I have struggled with. I have started writing. I have written pieces of it when I've gotten into my creative mind, but none of it is put together completely so that I have that portfolio. And that's what I love about your networking business initiative, is because this is going to give me the resources to do that. I can talk to other women who are struggling with the same things. I can, partner with other women who, bump yours against, up against mine. Let me bump mine up against yours. Let me see what you're working with. What kind of insight do you have? Things like that I'm excited about, actually, like putting my mind on that. So I would say that you have to surround yourself with the same type of people. You have to go to events, and that's what WSBI will provide. You're going to, have events on there in the National Capital Region and different areas where people can, go to events for their particular business and, area of expertise and things like that. So I think just sort of always thinking and always progressing, always growing, always looking for more ways to showcase who you are, what you know, and what an asset you can be to somebody and your product as well.
Exactly. And that's the thing with business. I think a lot of people, when they first start out, they think that they're by themselves. Yes. And the bigger part that I see, when you're talking to people in business, is that they feel like it's the only idea. Not understanding that there are many ideas that are very much the same. It's how you deliver it, and how you receive it.
Absolutely.
What are your customers saying? Like you said, who's your target market? There's so many pieces that come with that. And I know you talked a little bit about not having the business plan done. The thing that's important to understand is not about the business plan being done. It's an evolving document. So as you continue to think and grow and realize, I need to shift here or I need to shift there, or what's working best, that can be your process of completing that business plan. But also, you definitely want to be able to show up front that, hey, if I'm going to get in this business, is it really something that people want?
Exactly, and that's exactly right. Knowing who your market is, who your target market is, who your customers are, is huge in being able to continue to deliver what that market needs. So, for instance, I know that in this day and age, with all the budgeting going on, people aren't going out as often anymore. So, an in-home party is what people are doing. They're inviting people to their homes.
That's right.
And a lot of people, even if it's not about money, it's more about the community and the social gathering in an intimate environment, and the home is where these things are happening more nowadays. So incorporating a wine tasting in the home, guests are leaving like the hostesses are goddesses. They're like, girl, that was a great party. You had a wine tasting here? That was amazing. And it's not even that, it's just a small snippet of the bigger social event.
Right.
I mean, I am not the main attraction. That's not what this is. This is like, I'm there for 45 minutes. I'm giving you a facilitation of wine, a little bit of education, some chocolate pairing. I'm there to answer questions, and I'm out. And then you call me if you want some more,
Right, exactly. But, you're right. I think there are a lot of, we all know that women probably enjoy wine more than most men or either younger people. But I found that having the experience of being able to enjoy one of your wine tastings, and I've had it in my home, it amazed me that I sat back and I laughed. I was watching my son. He was like, I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? But then at the end of the day, it was crazy. He was like, oh man, I really enjoyed this. I now know about wines. And so now when he entertains, he actually understands what wine would be more suitable for that meal or for that particular environment, or that, whatever's going on at that moment. So it definitely was something that was very inspiring for him. And so I thought that was pretty neat. One other question I have here. So how can our listeners get a hold of you? Where can we find you?
Multiple places. You can go to my website at www.divinobymontez.com. I also have a Facebook page, same thing, you can look me up, Divino by Montez. And I have an email address that I can put on your website. I actually have a page on your website. I think people can get to that as well. You can see my profile and my business link and website. So please feel free to reach out to me. I also do consultations. So if you just wanted a question, like I'm going to see, some friends and they like red wine, what do you suggest? Or I'm hosting a party and I want to have a nice bottle of wine, you can send me a message on my website or blog and I'll answer you. So there's all kinds of ways, and I have my phone information and everything out there.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, I'd like to definitely thank you again for coming on tonight. Absolutely. It has been a pleasure, and like Miss Natalie said, listeners, please, check out her website. Her knowledge about wines is amazing. And the other thing I wanted to bring up real quick is that you're also very knowledgeable on Scotch.
Yes.
So you want to talk a little bit about the Scotch?
Oh, I love a good Scotch. Scotland is on my list of places to visit. I want to visit every Scotch, area there. My favorite is from the Highland area, but Scotch is one of those complex spirits that it's not like a whiskey where it just burns going down. A lot of people like whiskey. I'm not, not discounting that.
Right.
But a good Scotch, it's warming, it's smooth, it's just amazing, and all of the complexities that go along with that is just another love of mine along with wine. So anytime you need, the guys, I do and plan on incorporating some Scotch tastings for the guys out there. So if you, want to do one of those for your babes and your hubbies, let me know, because I can also do some of those. But that definitely isn't, the focus of my business right now, but I like to do the Scotch and cigar tasting as well.
Awesome. All right, great. Again, like I said, thank you for coming on tonight and sharing your story with us. For those listeners that are local in the area, I also wanted to let you know that you can come and see me and Miss Natalie on March the 9th. We're having a Talk and Taste networking event. You can get the tickets on Eventbrite. We do have some limited seating, but we would love to see you all come and join us. During this event, there will actually be 3 featured speakers with a special featured person that's going to be coming, a chef. And then we also are going to have a actual training session, and we're going to be talking a little bit about finding your target audience, your marketing here piece. So it'd be great that we could all see you there. Like I said, go to Eventbrite and get your tickets. The tickets are limited. The cost for the program is $10, but believe me, it will be well worth the $10
Absolutely.
And more. So come and see us again on March 9th. Until then, good night, everyone. I will be back with you next Thursday evening at 7 o'clock. You can find WSBI on the website anytime. I'm at www.wsbillc.com. You can also visit me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Until then, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Cheers.